Hi, I'm Apu. I'm building an AI-native ATS and CRM for staffing firms called Sortinghat. Actually, my journey started when I was 18 and was building a talent search firm of my own. We scaled it to almost 200 clients, and that is exactly where I realized that 70% of time a recruiter spends goes on very repetitive tasks like skimming through resume, going through all the job portals, and just manually reaching out to every single person, right? And that is exactly what we want to solve through Sortinghat, because this just doesn't affect the time of recruiter, this also affects the recruitment firm, where these hours could have been utilized to actually do more practical work and bring more revenue for the firm. For any firm, we are actually solving three core problems. One, how AI could be actually adopted by recruiters. Second, how we can actually maximize the potential they hold. And third, utilizing teams' resources and database. Let me show you exactly how we do this.
So let's begin with the demo of the portal sorting hat, where when you land on the platform, you will end up on this page where you'll see all your active jobs, which you can easily filter based on all the data points that you can think of. It could be recruitment manager, priority, clients, industry, whatever, right? Even if you're mentioning the investor, you can even filter out based on investor. Now you can even format your view. If you want to change the view or the tabs that you want to open, you can easily change them, and that will be customized only for you and will not hinder the entire organization's preview. Now, if I have to go on a particular job, I'll simply search for that job. I'll click on the job, and here I can see all the candidates here in a Kanban board. Now this Kanban board is again totally customizable for you and will purely work on the way how you would want it to work. Now then you can see there's so many stages, and all these stages are by the way configurable as per your choice. Now when you have to move a candidate, simply click those candidates and you can drag and drop them to any particular stage. And the best part, the minute you will drop them and hit confirm, and it will send a WhatsApp message, a mail, or a AI call to the candidate and will update them. And again, what you want to send or whether you want to send them or not is totally dependent and is again customizable to as per your choice. Now, when you click on a candidate, you'll see all their profile details, a summary assigned to them, and this summary is generated based on the job description, not a random summary about the candidate. When I go here on evaluate on the activity section, here I'll see all the detailed activity ever happened with this candidate on the platform. Even if 2 years back a random recruiter in your team had a call with this particular candidate Simon, and here you can see all the details. It could be about a video call interview, or in-person meeting log, or everything is saved here, so your team can review this activity and make an informed decision before calling the candidate. Utilize this activity information to actually convince the candidate even faster. Here you'll see all the records about the interviews, upcoming interviews, and the past interviews, along with the summary of the interview. Again, these data points will actually help your recruiter to not just call the candidate as a cold call, but make an informed call and use these point of information to convince them faster. Here you can see all the past jobs that this do. Imagine this candidate Simon was involved in some other engineering manager job 1 year back when your team was working on a job, and your team took him to the final stage, but for some reason the candidate did not got into that job. Now when your team is calling, you can refer to their job experience, and the candidate will have a very positive experience with your firm compared to any other firm reaching out to him on any particular medium of challenge, right? Here you can simply talk to the candidate by clicking here on WhatsApp, and it will open your WhatsApp, and you'll be able to chat with that candidate on WhatsApp. From here, you can directly move to his LinkedIn, his mail, or you can simply call the candidate from here, and candidate will receive a call from the platform. Nice. So in this way, your recruiters don't have to go out of the platform to mail the candidate, to schedule a call, to call the candidate for screening, to set up an interview, take a follow-up, or anything. Even send these profiles to the client, take client follow-up. Everything happens on the platform in one seamless manner. Now, this was one part. Second part, how will you add these candidates, right? Now, the very simple way to add these candidates, is either by uploading the candidate, where you click on upload, you go on upload files, and you can simply upload any number of candidates you want, up to 1,000 candidates in one go. And when you're working on bulk roles, and those candidates get scored here based on the job evaluation criteria. We'll come on that later. That is one way. Second way, you can click on search, and this is a magic feature that will go on in the job portal, job talent pool of the firm, will hunt down the relevant profiles found in the database of the firm and suggest you that, hey, there are 82 profiles that matches your that you're looking for. You can simply select all or maybe particular ones, add to the job, and these people whom you're adding to the job will receive a mail from your team that, hey, we interacted in past. Right now we have another job. If you're interested, do let us know, and we will definitely be recommending you for this job. And the job JD and all the information about the company will be attached into that mail. Now imagine if you mail this to 80 candidates, or we initiate an AI call to 80 candidates, six of them say yes in next 10 minutes. So within 10 minutes of creating a job, you have six relevant profiles without with their consent, with their resume, with their CTC details, everything in your hand, without even making a single call, without even posting about this job anywhere on the platform. That is the power of utilizing your own database that your team has been collecting from decades, right? That is second thing. Now, actually, there are multiple more ways how you can actually utilize this platform to collect details. Here, when you click, you will be redirected to a page which will be a custom job portal of your own company, and that will allow you to actually share it across to collect resumes on the job. You can also use this particular link to collect job applications from LinkedIn, from Naukri, from Indeed, from Handshake, any job portal. You can simply collect all the applicants here, and you will see all these applications landing here. Now, from 10, 20 different sources, you got all your profiles here. Initiate screening calls, or you can manually call them from the portal. And once you are done with the screening, you can move these candidates from here to the dedicated job stages. It could be to submitted. Once you move them to submitted, you can also add all the activity here. And as you are moving forward, you can even reach to the offer letter stage. By the way, when you take it to offer letter stage, portal will automatically create a invoice and will mail the invoice to your accounts team, will mail the invoice to the client's team, to the dedicated POC, and you don't have to take care of any back and forth hassle of taking a follow with the client or anything. Platform will take care of taking a follow with your client, ensuring whether the candidate's joining, just engaging with the candidate so that your team is free, and be rest assured that the candidate who you placed will be joining the organization on the decided time. So that will definitely save a lot of revenue and hassle for your recruiters, right? Now, this was one part. Here, the most amazing part is the talent pool. When you go on talent pool, you'll see there's an advanced search option. Now, let's say you have some 10 lakh resume, 1 million resume saved in your database, and you have to actually find some engineering manager out of it. So, what I'll actually do is I'll put a natural English search, engineering manager in Bangalore with 2 to 5 years of experience, based, and must be from an IIT. I'll hit search. This will be mapping my entire database within seconds. Even if it is like 2 million database, it will immediately map it. And it shows me that, hey, there are 5 candidates which are from companies like Misho, and they must be from good IITs. That's why it has been showing these candidates. And now I can simply engage with these candidates. And right now I'm utilizing my own database. So I'm not paying for Naukri, I'm not paying for LinkedIn, I'm not paying to any paid job portal to access these candidates, and portal will ensure that these candidates are engaged properly, because that is exactly what we are here to do, right? This definitely saves a lot of money of your firm in from job portals and from repetitive payments that you make on enrichment sites. right? Great. Now let's move to the even more amazing section of this portal, dashboard, right? Here, this dashboard allows your firm. This is the section which will be where all the management team is thankful to Sorting Hat because the portal just make it much more easier for your firm to make any kind of reports, any kind of analytics. If you have to run around, like you imagine analytical data point that you want to study, and the portal will simply allow you to read that or to make some data points out of it. And very soon we are bringing a one prompt option where you need, let's say, imagine you need to see how many recruiters have submitted 10 plus profiles in last 2 days, right? It's a very vague data point that you want to see. You simply type this and platform will give you an amazing organized report on that which you can save. You can also schedule these reports on weekly basis or daily basis so that you will receive that particular report with updated numbers on every Monday morning or whenever you want to study the numbers as a managing reporting manager of all the recruiters. This could be done at any level, and all these permissions and access to the platform are controlled from the admin section. Now, the biggest problem that any talent search firm face is that hey, we get so many ATS and CRM platforms, but the biggest problem is that our recruiters are never interested or keen to actually submit every detail or log all the activity because it's just so much tiring. They have to go click on 10 buttons, manually add everything, and this just drain their time. And they prefer to just save everything on Excel sheet instead of using any CRM portal, irrespective of how many features that portal actually have. So we have actually solved this, and this was, by the way, one of our requests from our existing customer, and based on that we have solved. From here, your team can add any activity. It could be adding a candidate, it could be a user activity, it could be summary of talking to a candidate, talking to a lead, talking to a client, anything that happens and they have to log. They don't have to go through the platform. They can simply click on log activity and here they can add it within seconds. Trust me, this single feature will help your team to increase the usage of the platform in-house. And when you use portals so efficiently, the data points that you're recording then are utilized by other members of the team. So your company is actually not dependent on a recruiter or never blogged on a manager who's not reverting because the person is on leave. Everything is platform driven and nobody is dependent on each other. And your recruiters will never find you never find any recruiter in your team who is lazy to add log activities because they get like a shortcut to add all those things, right? So yeah, well, all this was around how your ATS will function. Now, I'm sure your team is also trying to get more and more clients, and for that, your team would be using some mail enrichment tool, some mail campaigning tools. Your team must be logging everything on either an Excel sheet or on some CRM, which is very manual, and you have to do every planning from scratch every single time you want to run a campaign, right? But here we have changed it entirely. You can simply switch between your CRM and ATS with one click, and the permissions are again controlled by the management. So your team decides whom to give what permissions, right? Now, this is a Kanban board for the management team and for the business team to figure out what the leads they are actually working on it right now. Here I can see if I found okay, D11 is my client or maybe Zomato is my client, I can simply move them here to the stage. Everything around leads, which lead is lost, which lead is blacklist, everything could be managed here. And by the way, the sun which you see, this is more of like an indicator of whether the lead is hot or the lead is cold. So it's a pretty Gen Z thing that you'll find on the legacy you never find on the legacy platform, just to make it much more vibey, right? Sure, you'll find all the company information saved. Your team can simply edit and add all the information about the company. You can save all the POCs from the company. You can add jobs that are live with the candidate with this particular client. You can see all the candidates that your team has ever submitted to this particular client. You can check all the revenue that was ever made with this client. The agreement could be saved here so that your team don't have to save them on DocuSign or any other portal. Everything is involved on the platform. When you click on activity, you'll see all the activities now, right? Let's say the founder of the firm met some CEO from Lenskart and they had a discussion and they tried onboarding Lenskart 6 months back, right? But it just didn't happen. But still, we had some information on what how Lenskart actually functioned, and if that activity got logged here. After 6 months, when today your team will try to onboard Lenskart, through that activity you will have all the eyes, all the insights on how Lenskart actually work and how your team can actually tap on Lenskart and get them onboarded, right? You can also see particularly how everything is working, how what are all the contacts that your team has, what all leads your team right now holds. These are all the leads that your team might be working to close and trying to close them. Everything is managed here. And not just this, by the way, your team's payroll, your team's incentives, how your teams get bonuses, which person should get the bonus, who should who, what are the logic behind the bonus, everything is taken care by the portal. And when you have all these leads, by the way, you can simply mail these people and run a mail campaign with follow-ups and everything from the portal. So you don't have to buy a DocuSign to manage contracts, you don't have to buy a mail campaign, you don't have to buy a lead enrichment tools which will give you mail IDs of these people. You can also simply add leads, candidates, and clients through a LinkedIn extension. So while you're surfing on LinkedIn, you can and you found, let's say, a potential lead, simply click with one click, you can add that lead to the platform and your team will take care of that lead. Right. So hands down, this is by far the most efficient ATS and CRM ever built for staffing firms and talent search firms. And we don't want to work with yet another staffing firms or talent search firm. We only want to work with firms who actually want to grow in this AI stage. This platform also have AI calling, AI interviews, insights from all the data that you have ever collected that will be helpful to draw insights and close more clients, close more revenue with the clients, make your recruiters even more smarter. We are working on bringing a core native agent that will not just record the calls, but will also give you insights on what the recruitment manager said, what the client said, and how we can actually grow this role, what should be the right channels to hire from. Everything will be coming along in next few weeks. So if you're interested in such platform, we should definitely get on a call and give you a personalized demo of the platform. Thank you.